Hey guys, Casey here. Welcome back to another episode of Lions Den Investments and Reviews. Today's video, I just wanted to do some quick technical analysis on Ethereum and then go over some of the articles here, basically talking about Ethereum and how Ethereum may overtake Bitcoin here in the not so distant future. And then I also want to talk about, THETA project because there's some good news going on there. And we'll wrap the video up here. So, getting into a technical analysis for Ethereum right now. Uh, if you guys are new to the channel, I was talking about a $40,000 challenge that I was doing. We were going to see how much money we could accumulate during this bull run with Ethereum. That trade is still on, that challenge. However, just recently, there's been a lot of people coming out, like especially pro traders and options traders, people who can short and go long on crypto, and they're talking about, price manipulations on the overall crypto markets right now, due to, like your miners in China and stuff like that. I don't know how much of that is actually true. I mean, nobody can really prove it per se. But let's say if you're like an Ethereum developer, for instance, you might be able to take a look at the blockchain and find out what the difficulty time is right now for mining blocks on Ethereum, because there's a difficulty that's built into the system of Ethereum. Okay, and when those blocks get harder to mine, your miners decrease. Okay, which means basically that your transactions and processing times, uh, those slow down, and the fees for trading and buying and selling cryptos goes up. All right, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, like the big, especially the big institutions who are used to playing their own monetary system. They don't understand how blockchain works. Okay, they don't understand that Bitcoin is proof of work. They don't understand how the consensus trust algorithm inside Ethereum works. Okay, Ethereum's delegated proof of stake 2.0, or I'm sorry, it's proof of stake Ethereum 2.0. The upgrade in Ethereum is going to be moved to a delegated proof of stake, which basically fights and combats against 51% attacks. All right, I'm not going to go into detail with all that because it gets pretty hairy for like the average person to understand. But basically, all you need to know is Ethereum, it's built into the system so that you can't just throw money at it, right, and think that you're going to control Ethereum. That's not how it works from a developer perspective. Okay, and I'm not any pro developer here, but I'm in training right now for learning Ethereum blockchain developing, and I'm learning from guys who been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years. Some of them are part of the DAO, all right, which is your Ethereum development team. So that's where I'm getting my information from on this. Not to mention I'm certified Ethereum expert. Okay, so I understand the consensus algorithms and how they work on blockchains. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to get at here, guys, is that this manipulation, if there is manipulation going on the shorter time frames right now, you can do something about that. Okay, yeah, that's the beautiful thing about investing in cryptos. You can take your cryptos off the exchanges and go put them in your cold storage. All right, and then you're not playing their game, the game that they want to play, which is trying to control Ethereum and Bitcoin's price. They can delay it, but the problem is because these fees go up when they're buying and selling, the snake ends up eating its own tail, because people like me, all right, the smart money, the guys who understand blockchain, all we do is just pull our Ethereum off of the exchanges, put it in cold storage, and just sit on it. Okay? I mean, I'm sitting here right now, I'm just sitting back laughing at it all because I'm like, this is ridiculous, dude. I'm not going to play that short term game. So, what I did is I told my buddy, I said, hey, look, you know, we haven't been very successful yet in trading Ethereum. We've made small profits. We broke even once, and we've been trying to time these markets in Ethereum, and it's extremely difficult right now. So a much better strategy to take right now is just take the Ethereum off the exchange. Who gives a crap about what price you bought at, because it's still undervalued from a technical perspective and use case. Just put it in cold storage, sit on it for like 3 or 4 weeks until these banks realize, when their fees go up because they're trading and buying and trying to short Ethereum and control it with money. When they realize that, their bosses and their bosses' bosses up at, the big boys Wall Street firms like Goldman Sachs and stuff, they're going to be like, dude, they're going to slap them on the hand and say, stop, stop, it's costing us too much money, you know, and they're probably going to start losing because they're playing against themselves at some point, which I just find hilarious. So the situation right now with the manipulation, guys, you can almost kind of compare it to the whole GameStop and hedge fund thing that took place. It's a little bit different though because they're not playing in their system, they're playing in ours. This stuff belongs to us, the people, right? That's why I got into cryptos in the first place because it caught my attention. And I was like, you know, I want to preserve some of my wealth. I want to have more control. So let me take back some of the control from these guys so they can't, you know, they can't destroy your wealth through their manipulation and gains. And that's what blockchain offers here. But I digress, you know. So that's where we're at with Ethereum right now. The downward trend, okay, we broke that. We went up here. Here's something I caught though. If you look at this, all right, it almost looks like, let me go to a different time chart. If you go to a 4 hour, you can almost see what's playing out here. We go up, we go down, we're coming up, and guess what? We're going to come down. You know what that right there is a double top reversal pattern, and that's what we're getting when we should be honestly just busting right through this resistance. Guys, we should be probably at about 2,500, 3K right now, in my opinion, because if you go back to these shorter time frames, man, we've retested this resistance not once, but we've retested this resistance, gosh, 3 times now. 1, 2, 3. I mean, how many more times can we retest resistance without smashing through it? You know, I mean, we're only at 58 on the RSI. We got a lot of room to move up. So that's, you know, honestly, I think that's why a lot of people are like, oh, this, you know, there's a lot of manipulation going on right now because normally Ethereum doesn't move like this. Okay, it would be breaking through right now. We'd be making all-time new highs, and we're not. But that brings me to the next point here, which is what I was talking about with Ethereum surpassing Bitcoin to become the largest network for trustless money settlements. Okay, now why do you think that would be? And you've heard me talk about this in previous videos, but basically the reason why they're saying this is because you have something called decentralized finance. Okay, decentralized finance is a whole new market that was created by Ethereum. Okay, and the beautiful thing about that is that this decentralized market, all right, it creates the liquidity for the big banks so that they, you know, their system doesn't freeze up when they make these stupid bets, kind of like what you saw in 2008. All right, that derivatives market total is worth about $562 trillion for global money in the derivatives market. The DeFi space is built on Ethereum blockchain, that entire market. So guess what do you think? What do you think is going to happen when you get $562 trillion coming into DeFi? What do you think it's going to do for Ethereum? And that's why I told my buddy, I was like, you know, just put your Ethereum aside right now, sit on it for like 3 weeks, and watch what happens. Okay? Because as soon as they stop suppressing the price of Ethereum, you're going to see it recorrect to much higher prices. I'll leave a link in the description below for this article. And guys, if you're bullish on any of this stuff that I'm talking about right now, go ahead and leave a comment, you know, in the comments section. Let me know. Are you a lion or are you a sheep? Right? Are you guys hungry or are you starving? You know? Right now, I'm extremely bullish on all of this, regardless of manipulation. Okay? Let's read this next one here. Ether seeks to escape Bitcoin's shadow with CME futures launch. Right now, this created the sell-off that we saw in Ethereum last week because a lot of people were doubting and fear was building in that maybe, you know, they might be able to manipulate the price with the futures launch. Right? They can short term, but again, we're talking about the underlying asset here, which is Ethereum. Okay, you can't control that. And if you're looking at the price, you know, of Ethereum right now, you can suppress it with some of these futures contracts because that's what allows them to manipulate the price. But you cannot control how the Ethereum blockchain was set up and developed in the first place. You can't control that, even with a 51% attack. It's impossible. Okay? I'll leave a link for that as well. Here's another one. Asset manager values Bitcoin at 500,000, expects Bitcoin to be worth more than gold, sees a massive institutional interest. Okay, and what was it? You know, the previous video I just shot. What was I talking about? Tesla buying 1.5 billion dollars in Bitcoin to hedge and accept payment through their corporation. And why do you think that is, guys? It's all of this news that's coming out is revolving around the monetary economics of the U.S. dollar. Okay, they are resetting the system in front of our very eyes, and they're destroying what's left of our currency. They got to print it up into oblivion because there's no turning back. This is like a huge tsunami coming at a cruise liner, right? What do? You got to jump ship, man. Unless you have a boat that's small enough to maneuver in and out. You know, and these larger companies, they're so big, it's hard for them to pivot and move. Okay, there's too many moving parts. So what do they have to do? They have to hedge and protect themselves and get ready, brace for impact. That's what they're doing. All right, and you're going to get companies like Twitter. Twitter previously was on CNBC, okay, CNN. The CFO was out there talking about, you know, it's a very real possibility that we would consider something like that, but they haven't made any moves yet. The fact they're even saying that on public television, on mainstream media, is like in your face. Like, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. And more corporations are going to follow suit, okay? Apple was another one. They were talking about $5 billion investment into cryptos. Okay, now as soon as these other guys start getting in line, and it just so happens that Elon Musk is the leader of all this movement of corporate America trying to shift into the system, because that's basically what it is. You're going to see the entire corporate landscape, you know, for the Fortune 500 companies. Everybody's gonna follow suit. And where do you think that leaves Ethereum and Bitcoin as far as price? I mean, if you think these prices are high right now, get ready because you haven't seen anything yet. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about here, guys, THETA. THETA Network. Man, if you're not a part of this project, I don't know why. I mean, these guys, their blockchain is dedicated and geared towards content delivery networks. Okay. The latest news that just came out is Lionsgate Films became the latest Hollywood studio to bring content to the THETA Network. Don't know about THETA Network, guys? Go to my website, academyofcrypto.com. You can go over to projects, and from there I've got a link that will take you directly to their website where you can read their white paper, or you can just go to thetatoken.org, okay? And from there, you know, you can read up on their project, get familiar with it. But really, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, like I said, all this stuff, you know, it sounds like fear mongering stuff, real scary stuff that I'm talking about. But it is our reality right now. We're going into this digital world, and if you don't want to be left behind, and you don't want to stay on a ship that's going to sink, whether you know you be an employee or a higher up management in a corporation right now, you might want to drop your speedboat at the back of that cruise liner and get the hell off of it, or at least get some skill sets and knowledge. Start preparing and arming yourself with this blockchain knowledge so that you can make the transition. Okay, because if you're not right now, your livelihood kind of depends on it. So you might want to start paying attention. With that said, guys, that's all I've got. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button as well. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. And as usual, guys, fear nothing, my friends.